Imagine a life full of hope instead of despair, joy instead of sadness, and wellness in spite of illness. At development centers, we empower the most vulnerable members of our community with the tools to realize this life. As a human service agency, our programs and services work with thousands of local children, adults, and families each year. We strive to build upon the strengths of our consumers and provide them with the skills and resources to improve their quality of life. The children, adults, and families that walk through our doors are often in crisis and always under stress. Like many of us, they're worried about their health, their children, their independence, or their future. They are overwhelmed and don't know what to do. They need someone to talk to, someone who will listen, and someone who will help.
Here at Development Centers, we have remained committed to the Northwest Detroit community since 1983. And that dedication has helped us understand the needs of the children, adults, and families that live here. Building on our core behavioral health programs, we have modified or added services to respond to the needs of the community that we serve. But what hasn't changed, and never will, is our commitment to the community and the people that live here. In the following vignettes, some of our consumers are going to describe their journey towards their goals.
Heaven is 8 years old. She is seen by a development center's therapist at her school to help with her anger. There has been a history of conflict in the home and at school.
My name is Heaven Gunn, and I go to Gompers Elementary Middle School.
One of the things I noticed about Heaven in the very beginning is she consistently talked about her angry monster and how she wanted to gain control over that.
I made a lot of mistakes. A lot.
Heaven was one of those children who, when you tell her what she can do or you show her a different technique, she was quick to use it. Before development centers, emotionally, she was really frustrated easily. She was also very sad and withdrawn from a lot of different things. She held a lot of things in, but today she's very outspoken. She is so loving. She's willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish her goals, and Heaven is happy in general. She's a very happy kid.
My therapist had to help me with my problems.
Larry has spent most of his adult life in crisis. He struggled with mental illness, substance abuse, and isolation. Larry desperately needed help.
My name is Larry Chapman, and I've been in the Adult Outpatient Services Unit of Development Centers for the past 8 years. I was a hardcore drug addict, and I suffered from substance abuse. I was a crack cocaine addict, and I also had bipolar disorder.
My name is Nanette Wade. I've been here at Development Centers in the capacity of Director of Adult Services for the past 12 years. I work with other managers in the adult division to create and promote programs to help our adult consumers in their recovery. Our clubhouse is fabulous. It's one of my favorite programs, actually, because it is based on recovery of our consumers.
What I like about Clubhouse is you can be creative with your recovery. You can work on things in your own life that you want to work on, your goals.
We help with social interactions and community inclusion, just having our consumers kind of feel like they have a place to belong.
Development centers helped me because they got me in touch with my real self. I was able to, see my emotional state better since I came to development centers. And after I did come, I was able to finally stop using all illegal substances.
Sheree is a single mom. She struggled to find a job as she could not afford childcare or a vehicle. After her unemployment benefits were exhausted, she was referred to the PATH program at development centers.
My name is Sheree Cranford, and I'm in the PATH program at Development Centers. One of the challenges I faced was finding employment. I didn't have a vehicle. I didn't have any help with childcare.
My name is Rochelle Williams, and I am the program manager of PATH. PATH stands for Partnership, Accountability, Training, and Hope. and we provide services through the Detroit Employment Solutions Corporation.
It's a great resource for, young women out here who might be in the same situation as me, single mother, can't find a job, trying to raise your kids.
So when they're in PATH, the only thing that they're working on is becoming successfully employed because they have their child care in place. For example, if they had been evicted or they didn't have transportation, those things for the most part would have been resolved, particularly the child care, because you can't become gainfully employed if you don't have child care in place.
Don't be afraid to go thinking that you might be better than this program when this program really does have many resources that can help you.
Kate is an early childhood therapist at development centers. One of the families she is working with consists of a single father and his infant son. The son was born with prenatal substance abuse exposure. Kate is helping the father learn how to properly raise his son in challenging circumstances.
My name is Kate Fox. I'm an early childhood therapist at development centers, and I've been here for over 6 years. And one of the families that I'm working with is the father and son. The father's name is Leonard. The son's name is Marcus. Marcus and I started working together at 2 months of age, and his father at the time was dealing with the challenges that any single parent might be going through with having an infant in the home. Marcus had been exposed prenatally to substances when his mother was pregnant with him, and his father had a lot of concerns about whether or not Marcus would be able to grow and develop on track because of that exposure. And the service that I was there to provide was to help him monitor his development and see where he may or may not be doing well and give support so that Marcus could grow and develop on track. He struggled a little bit in the beginning with certain skills like fine motor skills, small muscle development, using his fingers independent of each other, and the more that we were able to address play activities that Marcus could do with his dad, we found over time that he was able to catch up in his development and be on track in all areas, even including his social and emotional health.
Lavina struggled with substance abuse and had challenges understanding her role as a parent. Her son suffered from a bipolar disorder and struggled behaviorally and academically in school. She needed to make a better life for herself and become the mom she always wanted to be.
Hi, my name is Lavina Jones, and I'm a consumer with the Development Center and a guardian of my 2 children that also attends Development Center. My son came in with Development Center, diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and he was attending school with behavioral problems.
A clinical therapist at development centers started working with Lavina and her son. Her son was having challenges at school and had behavioral difficulties as well. His grades were suffering and there were calls home because of suspensions for fighting.
When you have your case manager there, they always have the resources that you need.
Now he is doing incredibly well. He is on the honor roll, and last quarter he had a 3.5 GPA.
It's so hard. There's a lot of people out here who needs a program like Development Center to reach out and help us, because a lot of us do want to be survivors. We just don't know how, and we don't know who to turn to. So my encouragement would be, don't give up, Call Development Center, They're wonderful people.
One of our core values is to respect the individual that we work with. What does that really mean? That means that we need to listen to them, to see what their strengths are, to help them see what their strengths are, to take those strengths and say, okay, how can we use that to help you get where you want to be?
With your support, we can help children reach their fullest potential, adults become self-sufficient, and provide a safety net for those struggling with a mental illness. Please join us and support our Life Changers Fund. Together, we can strengthen our community, one family at a time. Go to develctrs.org/lifechangers for more information.